Right now at noon, frigid temperatures and wintry weather are on the way. Are you fully prepared? We have some tips to keep you ahead of the storm. And speaking of, no storm today. In fact, look, we've got sunshine, but there is a winter storm watch for parts of our area. We'll have a look at that forecast. And the Joplin Outlaws. A change in management, bringing in a former Kansas City Royal.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Winter is underway and bitterly cold temperatures are right around the corner. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Chris Warner. And with that cold weather coming in this weekend, now is a good time to keep an eye on those pipes if you want to stay warm and keep money in your pocket. KOAM's Lonnie Walton has more.
First of all, to let the water trickle.
Christy Barnhart is the Senior Communications Manager at Missouri American Water. Although there's always a possibility of a busted pipe, Barnhart says there are ways to prevent it.
The first thing we encourage customers to know is the location of their shutoff valve. So in the event that pipes do burst, they can shut the water off quickly.
Now you may think you're saving money by leaving that water faucet off, but if your pipes happen to burst, professionals say it can be a lot worse.
The cost of about a gallon of water is around a penny, and if you compare that versus what a water bill could be for a month if your pipes burst, there's really no comparison.
But how long should you leave the water running?
Overnight is the best time to let the water, trickle to keep the water flowing through the pipes, which prevents the freezing.
And another way to stop bursting pipes is to keep them warm.
Keeping pipes exposed to warm air, whether that be opening cabinet doors, using heat tape to wrap the pipes.
And speaking of heat tape, John Hickle, owner of Ace Hardware, is fully stocked and ready for his customers who want to get prepared.
Yeah, we're ready to go, and we have a lot in stock now, and then we get freight Monday morning, so we'll be loaded.
And he says that's not all. You should have all your ducks in a row, just in case.
Make sure your car's ready. Make sure you have windshield wiper fluid and de-icer.
And one more thing, Barnhart says she wants her customers to know to never open the meter lid.
When they open the meter lid and expose that meter to the cold air, it can cause the meter to freeze, which just then compounds the problem.
Barnhart says you don't get much warning about pipes bursting until it's too late. But she says when the temps drop for a few days, you should be mindful of your actions. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Barnhart also wants to emphasize the pipes inside your home are your responsibility, not Missouri American Water's. And we're going to take a look at that forecast, at least for the rest of this evening. We'll tell you, too, about that winter storm watch. There's a live look from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clearing. In fact, not long ago, there were a lot more clouds out there. Same from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Not a bad day, although it is a bit on the cold side. So here's that winter storm watch. Some good news, no changes since this morning. And it's still the northern third of our area. And again, over in this section, the expiration is Sunday afternoon, and if you go east, it'll run through Sunday night. So we'll keep an eye on all of that, as you should as well. Yesterday started at 32, made it to 50, so a bit above normal. That is not going to be the case going forward, at least not for a while. 36 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. So we're actually right on track for where we were expecting to be. We have low, mid, and upper 30s for most of us across the area. And again, even with a light north breeze, it does make it feel a bit colder, but it's gotten better with a little more sunshine. Still feels like the low 30s in a lot of locations, so not as big of an impact from that wind, but still does feel colder. For the rest of this evening, again, skies will actually clear out, and they'll remain clear until we get to about 11 o'clock or so, and as we go past midnight, clouds will increase. We're falling back through the low 30s by 11, and we've got lows tonight falling back into the 20s. Now, I know everybody's talking about that winter storm event, or at least the winter weather heading in this weekend. I'm going to break down all those details for you in the full forecast, and that is coming up here in just a few more minutes. And of course, don't forget that KOAM Skywatch weather app. It is essential. You can get the severe weather alerts, winter weather alerts, everything right there in the palm of your hand, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you need to do is search for the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Now, another essential area of winter preparation is your vehicle. Some simple ways to keep yourself and your car safe are to make sure your tires have good tread and that they're properly inflated. Make sure you have your battery checked by a professional and ensure your gas tank is at least half full to avoid a gas line freeze up. We've got more information on getting your vehicle winter ready on our website. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. And you know, there's something else you've got to make sure you're taking care of as temperatures drop. Our four-legged friends, and the cold can certainly begin to impact them. The vet at Columbus Veterinary Clinic reminds pet owners to keep safety in mind. Says dehydration is a risk during the winter because pet water bowls left outside can freeze and leave your pet dehydrated. He also says the cold air can make their airways tighten up and cause low blood pressure.
Making sure that they're able to escape the wind is the biggest thing, because if the wind chill drops too low, they're not able to maintain their thermal neutral zone or their comfort zone for their own body temperature.
He says if your pet has a compromised heart or lung, they shouldn't stay outside in very cold temperatures for longer than 30 minutes. And of course, with the possibility of the winter weather heading into the weekend, it's going to come just in time for Monday. A lot of kids going back to school, for example. So we do want to remind our schools, government, and church officials and partners, now is the time to test your KOAM closings login. You can do so by scanning the QR code on your screen. You can also do so by going to KOAMnewsnow.com/closings just to make sure it's in proper working order. And of course, for you folks at home, KOAMnewsnow.com is going to be your source for any organization or school closings come Monday morning. Well, coming up, we've got an update on two major road projects taking place in the Joplin Metro. And later, we are making a baked eggplant parmigiana in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, we've got an update on roadwork progress in Joplin. Crews have made progress on the Zora and Duquesne intersection improvement project, with the foundation for the new roundabout taking shape, as you can see there. While the roundabout has yet to open, work continues with the anticipated completion early this year, and work is also continuing at the intersection of 4th and Murphy Boulevard. This beautification and traffic improvement project also scheduled for completion early this year. And for the second consecutive offseason, the Joplin Outlaws announced some changes within their front office. Last year, Nick Weisenborn was the team's general manager. He then moved on to a new role with the league office in the fall. Yesterday, Joplin Outlaws introduced Brian Flynn as their new owner and president of baseball operations. He is a former professional baseball player, originally from Tulsa. Flynn was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 2011 and went on to spend 3 seasons as a pitcher with the Kansas City Royals from 2016 to 2019. And the former home of one of Joplin's most famous athletes is now honoring his legacy. A crew has been working for the past 10 months to restore the past home of Irish Johnny Copeland, who started his boxing career in 1960 as a member of the Joplin Boys Club. By 1970, Copeland turned professional, earning 26 knockouts during his pro career. Now the Joplin Icon's home has been renovated to become a memorabilia house honoring Copeland and his career.
We really feel the privilege to be doing something for the city to enrich the history of it. Because Joplin is a historic town. History needs to be preserved.
Yesterday marked a ribbon cutting for the site. Work is not yet finished. In the meantime, organizers have applied to have the home listed as an historic landmark. What began as a passion for anime in their teenage years has now evolved into a gathering of adults who come together to watch the latest shows at the Joplin Public Library. Last night, the library hosted an anime manga hangout for grown-ups event. Organizers say activities like this provide an opportunity for those interested to connect with others and enjoy the culture.
So this started because we have a version of this for in the teen department for teens, and it was really popular. They still host it every month, and we had teens that were aging out of that program that were, not teenagers anymore. So we began to get requests for an adult version.
The library will host more gatherings for anime and manga lovers on February 6th and March 6th. Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Ever feel like you have to choose between great taste and good health? Well, that's certainly not the case today.
And it may not really seem like it, but we are tracking winter weather. We'll have another look at your forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So it is cold outside. It's very more seasonable, okay? It's colder than what we're used to here lately, but it is seasonably cold, and it is going to get unseasonably cold as we head into the weekend and the start of next week. Let's start with a look outside, though. It looks fantastic, but this is we're getting into that part of the year kind of like summer, except opposite, where it looks great outside, but then you walk outside and you immediately want to turn around and go back in because it's cold, and that's what we are looking at right now. But the sun has come out. And there it is. Nice view from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Now, here's the latest good news, at least for now, is that there have been no changes to the winter storm watches from this morning. Yesterday did only include Coffee and Anderson County, so it was expanded. In fact, now this is of course only showing our area, but this winter storm watch goes all the way back out into central Kansas, back up to the north, around the KC metro area, stretching over to Jefferson City, all the way to St. Louis, and back down toward Rolla. So it's a pretty big one, but in our area, this is what it covers. And again, it's through Sunday afternoon out in the west, and to the east, it is until Sunday night. Here's a look at the future track for today. Now again, today we're looking all right. A few clouds here and there. We got that north breeze. It's light, thankfully, but it is a bit on the cold side. Now later this evening, winds will begin to shift out of the east. We'll have clear skies for a little bit, and then overnight, those clouds thicken back up towards sunrise tomorrow. So tomorrow kicks off our winter weather. And tomorrow, we're not expecting anything major in terms of accumulations from anything you're about to see on the future track, but there will still at least be some opportunities for some sleet, maybe some light freezing rain out there as we head through Saturday. The other thing there's an opportunity for, and this is something I haven't seen in a long time, but thunder. We could have thunderstorms tomorrow and Sunday, and depending on where that instability reaches, we could get some thunder sleet or even some thunder snow. Now, it's not very likely, but it is a possibility. But we'll have to contend with that. Now, tomorrow is a more typical day in terms of how it functions. We'll actually warm up into the afternoon like we're supposed to, so some locations you may only see rain. You may not get in on any wintry weather at all, but our northern counties where it's typically colder, that's when you're going to have to contend with that business. Then we go overnight into Sunday. All right, this is that low pressure we're talking about. You can see the arrows, the wind arrows, they're pushing right toward it over the Osage Nation early Sunday morning. It's going to continue to lift to the east. As it does so, right along and south of it, temperatures are still expected to push almost to 50 degrees in some locations as early as 9 a.m. However, outside of that, if you're north of that, temperatures will top out in the mid to upper 30s before they will gradually start to come back down. So this pink, we are looking at that mixed precipitation. Depending on your temperature, rain, snow, sleet, maybe even freezing rain out there. And then we'll have thunderstorm chances outside of that. And then temperatures on the backside of this low will begin to drop. So one thing we've got to watch, it doesn't appear very likely, but it is something we want to keep an eye on. As this low pushes on through, up in the north and into Kansas, temperatures were already cold. They'll be dropping slowly. But here, where the temperatures were warm, that Arctic air is going to fill in pretty quickly. And if temperatures drop fast enough and short enough of a time, we could be looking at some flash freezing from the rainfall, leading to more slick spots out there. After that, though, we head into the afternoon. Now we're just looking at snow, and that will continue through Sunday evening until about 10 o'clock or so, when we'll finally get it out of here. So here's what we're looking at in terms of snow totals, and these are looking pretty accurate as we head into Sunday evening. We're looking at about 1 to 3 inches here and about 3 to 5 inches in our northern counties. We also have some concerns, of course, with maybe that freezing rain building up some ice accumulations out there. So that's something else that we're going to have to keep an eye on. And of course, with gusty winds, blowing snow could be an issue. And of course, wind chills. They'll be below zero Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. So we have that possible alert day Sunday. And then that Arctic air sets in and makes it bitterly cold as we head into the next work week. So a lot to keep an eye on. Stick around. We're making a baked eggplant parmigiana in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right. Well, Howard's got another great recipe for us today. We're making baked eggplant parmigiana in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It's only a few days into the new year, and we're already getting emails asking if we have any good ideas for dinner recipes that are healthy and that taste great. So today, we're making an easy version of eggplant parmesan that will help you stick to your New Year's resolution and that will make your taste buds very happy. We start by cutting some eggplant into slices. I like to leave the skin on, but that's up to you. Then we bread them by dipping them in some flour. then into a couple of beaten eggs before finishing them off in a combo of breadcrumbs, Parmesan, and oregano. Now, instead of frying these like normal, which can be a real mess, we place them on a baking sheet that we sprayed with cooking spray. And before you put the cooking spray away, make sure you spritz them again before popping them in the oven. That's going to help them crisp up. Once they're crispy, spoon on some spaghetti sauce and sprinkle them with a little mozzarella, and back into the oven they go until the cheese is all melty. Serve these up with a salad and get ready for a super quick dinner that not only tastes amazing, it'll fill you up, not out. I sure hope you'll go online and get the recipe for our baked eggplant parmigiana, so you'll be armed with a recipe that's perfect when you crave great taste without all the guilt. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a guilt-free way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And of course, you can find this recipe and many others at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at 4-state market prices. All right, upper 30s, low 40s for us today. Upper 30s, low 40s tomorrow. Rain, snow mix. More of that with that possible alert day Sunday. Again, our southern counties, highs mid 40s at about like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and then temperatures will fall. Our northern counties, highs about the mid 30s, and then temperatures gradually falling. We'll have to keep an eye on it, but we're looking across the region, anywhere 1 to 5 inches of snow, depending on where you are, and at least a little bit of freezing rain accumulation. So do be prepared for slick roads and dangerous spots out there. Dangerous cold sets in after, wind chills below 0, mid 20s on Monday, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a few closings come Monday as well. So keep it here to KOAM. We'll keep you updated. And coming up tonight at 5, a new Congress is in session. And the first order of business, electing a new speaker. We'll hear why this could be a challenge as current Speaker Mike Johnson looks to hold on to the gavel. Plus, winter weather is rolling in this weekend. We'll have some safety tips if you have to be on the roads. And we'll take a look at why the Cleora Public Schools in Oklahoma is asking voters to pass a bond issue on January 14th. You can join us for those stories and a lot more on KOAM News at 5. So again, just keep weather aware through the weekend. And if you don't have to travel this weekend, it's better not to, and we'll have all the latest closings, if any, come in as we roll into Monday morning. That's going to do it for now, though, here on the KOAM News at noon. We'll be back tonight at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.